Hello everybody, welcome back to the stream. We're going to be doing GMTK Jam Day 2. And if you were here yesterday, you saw that I was making a Necromancer themed game. But I ultimately didn't really like how it was turning out, so we're actually going to be prototyping a sort of new gameplay loop today, which I've already started on. And I think it's more promising, so we'll see. We'll get into all that in just a second. But before I do, I want to remind everyone that Gunforged is available for purchase. It's my 2D goofy roguelite shooter, available now on Steam. So if you're interested in supporting my work or getting a fun game, then check this out. This is linked in the description below. And I also have my Udemy courses available for sale. This one is the newest one. Create a complete online co-op multiplayer game in Godot 4. This will teach you everything you need to know about making multiplayer games in Godot. So you'll learn all the high-level multiplayer tools, the nodes, multiplayer spawner, multiplayer synchronizer, remote procedure calls, all that good stuff. And of course, I have my other Udemy courses as well, one of which is a C# course. So you can take that if you're interested in learning how to use C# with Godot. But yeah, those are linked in the description below. And thank you for your support. Thanks to everyone that has already purchased it. And you can also support me by just watching these videos, liking the videos, subscribing to the channel, all that good stuff. Cool. So yeah, yesterday, I'm actually not in a state where I can show what was happening yesterday. But basically, yesterday it was just, you resurrect corpses and the minions follow you around, the skeletons will follow you around and attack villagers. But it was getting really hard to see how I was going to make that strategic or in any way challenging or engaging. So I've done a little bit of brainstorming and I've come up with a slightly different take on the formula, which utilizes a lot of the stuff that I've already built. But what's going to happen now is there's going to be a ritual loop. And the ritual loop is going to be a programmable series of events that loops endlessly. So the loop that you'll start with, for instance, will have, let's say, like 3 or 4 slots. One slot will be occupied by a raise skeleton action. And the loop will progress, I don't know how often, but each slot in the loop, each event in the loop will happen after 5 seconds. So, you do nothing for 5 seconds if you've got nothing in the first loop slot. And then if the second loop slot has a raised skeleton, then that will happen 5 seconds later. And that will resurrect a skeleton based on if there's a corpse on the ground. And the idea is so this is going to help limit the skeletons because you're not going to be able to raise them all the time. But then I can open up the possibility of getting new sort of like runes for the ritual loop, right? So one rune could be raise a behemoth, but it requires 3 corpses to be on the ground, right? One loop could be call down a meteor at the player's position that will damage villagers. And the idea is that the villagers, the enemies, are going to come from the edges of the arena here, and they're just going to move their way toward your base. So it becomes a quasi like tower defense thing without really having stationary towers, where you need to defend the base by programming your ritual loop so that all of the events are keeping the enemies at bay. And then as the game progresses, you'll get more slots in your event loop, and it's going to become an issue of like managing your corpses, making sure that there's always corpses available for those raise skeleton or raise monstrosity events, and then balancing that out with like damage events or defensive events or healing events, that kind of thing. So that's the idea. If you have any thoughts on how that sounds, let me know. But let me go to the chat now. Hello, Real Crudo, welcome back. Great to see you as always. Kinyaz, welcome back. Good to see you as well. Abo, hello. Show progress. Yeah, I think I just went over that. So yeah, we're kind of pivoting. We don't use the word abandon here. We're pivoting away from the original idea a little bit. Hello, iCode Stuff. Welcome. Forgotten. Welcome back. Qbox. Hey, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Are we getting juicy today? I'm going to try to prototype this and see how it's feeling. Whoops, 19th. Hello, Neozoid. Trixie, welcome. Great to see you. Hello, Rune. Great to see you again. Sounds funky. Now that's a top 20 idea. Okay. So you guys are liking the ritual loop idea. Hello, Harsh. Welcome. Great to see you again. Ali. Hello. Felipe. Mixed rate. Welcome, everybody. Pivoting, you must have watched Firebelly's Game Jams tips video. If there's anything I could say about myself is that I'm very consistent. So I'm not giving you guys advice that I don't follow myself. So yeah, I like this loop. Okay. Did you know you're in the jam too? Awesome, Night Raven Games. Awesome. Woke up today and got that fishing minigame all working. Now I need to find a way to reap souls for upgrades. Sweet. Yeah, Necromancer fishing sounds really cool. I hope that it goes well for you. So what I've got, finally found an idea. Oh yes, do you want to share? It's okay if you don't want to share, but... So I've got a loop manager here, and right now it's just very basic. So here's the loop. So here's your loop slots. You've got an empty callable, execute raise skeleton, which is a callable that raises a skeleton, empty callable. And then you've got the loop index. And when you start the loop, it executes the item in the first slot, and then it starts the loop timer. The loop timer right now lasts 5 seconds. And then after 5 seconds, it will increment the loop index or wrap it back to 0. And then it will call the callable at that loop slot. So with this configuration that exists now, basically what's going to happen is it's going to do nothing. 5 seconds later, it will raise a skeleton. 5 seconds later, it will do nothing. 5 seconds later, it will do nothing. 5 seconds later, it will do nothing. And then 5 seconds later, it will do raise skeleton. So the idea is that you'll start with a certain number of loop slots. The loop slots can be expandable, and you're going to slot in different runes, I guess, for your ritual loop to keep everything going. So it's going to sound a little bit strange right now, but I'm going to work on some of the enemy pathfinding, because right now what happens is if I wait a couple of seconds, it's going to raise a skeleton, and then the skeleton just makes a beeline for the base until an enemy gets within range. And I may extend the range of the skeletons here a little bit, but yeah, the skeleton will go out, meet the villager, it stops the villager, and then returns back to the base, and then he'll go and attack the next villager and probably die. Yep, he's dead. And so now that ritual loop just kicked in again, so that it raised another skeleton. So yeah, that's the basic premise. Obviously, I need a bunch of elements to show the progress of your loop, but that's why everything's kind of shifted over to the right here, because I think I'm going to show the loop in a vertical stack along this side here. And I am also playing around with the idea of being able to move corpses, but I haven't yet incorporated that yet, but we'll figure that out in just a second. Our favorite niche, E-Celeb, is back, yeah. Morning, trying to absorb some Godot info while I work my regular job. All right, welcome, Trebsy. Why you participate in this jam only? Well, I don't want to spend too much time doing game jams because I have other games to work on, namely my next commercial game. What architecture do you use? Can you elaborate, Nalgia? Good morning, G. Whittington. Hello, Weird Pawn Moves. Thanks for all the work you've done. I've started game development this year because of you. Awesome. Great to hear that. How are you enjoying it? Finite state machine. Yes, I use state machines. Yep. Long time no see in the chat, but still been watching every day. Awesome. Welcome back, Craig. Looks super cool. You like it? Oh, didn't know you were participating. Oh, gotcha. Good morning, Marcos. Welcome. All right. So I'm going to edit the skeleton behavior a little bit. Because right now they just make a beeline straight to the whatchamacallit? What am I doing? Skeleton. Target acquisition timer. Is that still being used? On target acquisition timer. Acquire follow target. Acquire enemy target. Oh. Let's call this wander target position. Player duck level position. Yeah, so I want to do this. Let's do 16 and radius. Wander target position is equal to get base position. State wander. I don't think I want to do this anymore. I don't really know if I want an idle state. This will be the wander target position. What I'll do is I'll just trigger another acquire follow target. And I'm going to change this to acquire wander target. Direction is direction 2. Wander target position. All right, let's see what that does. So now the enemy should kind of like run around, or the skeleton should run around. Oh, that's too much. Oops. Oops. Oh, oops. That would be why that's happening. And let's turn the radius up to 128. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna have to shrink this loop time down. Enjoying it quite a bit, been slacking off a lot more than I should though. Yeah, that's how it goes. Alright, so the skeletons are a little bit sporadic, but it's kind of fun, especially if you've got like multiple skeletons. Let's see if it gets another skeleton up. Yeah, there we go. So now that raised another skeleton. Okay, so that's fine for now. Obviously that will be refined in a little bit. Let's see if it raises another skeleton. It should raise this one, I think. Yeah. Cool. All right, so what's the next best thing to do here? I mean, I have a lot of stuff that I need to get in place, so we can get rid of that. Update skeleton wander behavior. Waiting for my wife to come home so I can take my old man afternoon nap. I have a general game dev question. I'm trying to convert survival course game into isometric, at least visually. Should I apply the isometric ratio to the movement? Or is it not so common in games? I don't know. I'm not familiar with isometric games. You can also, I guess you can always try both and see which one feels better. Really enjoy your code review videos. Excited to see what you make for this game jam. Thank you, Nick Wong. Thank you. Missed the last stream, but I'm glad to be watching live now. Sweet, yeah, glad to have you. Oh, you won't be able to work because of your move. Well, that's alright. Next year. There's always next year. Hello, Snupbill. Welcome. Always good to see you. We got the message yummers that we always appreciate. I'm out of city, so no McDonald's for me. Oh, rip. Rip. Any benefits to using VS Code or the inbuilt IDE? Yeah, you get a bunch of refactoring tools. You can use Copilot, which is nice. Skeleton is faster than Sonic, yeah. I'll change that later, but I just wanted to get him not just sticking directly to the base. So this would actually be, let's change the loop here. Maybe we'll do this. We'll start the loops. I'm gonna need to create a UI for this. So I guess the next thing to do, I basically just need to start working on like a progression system so I can see how this looping is actually gonna work. I guess that's just gonna require some, it's gonna require some experimentation, I suppose. All right, maybe I should get a basic loop UI set up. That needs to be fixed as well. They need to still spread out across multiple enemies, but I think, yeah, this should work. Oh no, both the skeletons died. Okay, so lots of stuff to do, but there's a couple of event ideas that I have. So one thing that I can do is I can make it so that corpses can only be resurrected if they're within a certain radius of the base. So that would add a little bit of element. That would bring into play the, like, for the player to have to drag and drop corpses. So if I have to bring corpses here, actually I had this idea. If I have a little altar If I have an altar where you have to put the corpse onto, oops, then I could make it so that way you always have to have a corpse on the altar if you're going to resurrect something. But yeah, there's a lot to do. So maybe not even that. I could just have an inner radius here. I'm just trying to figure out what the best way to do. I think I probably should just start getting the loop UI working so I can actually configure it. So that's going to be a chunk of work, but that's all right. So let's do this. Let's just draw up something here. Hide the arena for now. Let's call it loop cell. All right, let's draw up a loop cell. Make it look a little bit and we could also flip these two so that they're not so uniform. But we could have like a loop cell like that, and then we can have runes. So let's see. What would a rune look like here? Rune raise skeleton. We don't want to do something super fancy, but we could do something like this. Something like this. Okay, and then I'm just going to cheat real quick. Son of a bee. I may want to actually outline this in black, just so that it stands out more. Actually, this probably is too dark. I could use green maybe. Ooh, green works. All right, so there's a rune. Now we need a rune for rune pull corpse. So we'll have a rune for pulling corpses. Get out of here. I should probably create a base rune here. Duplicate. And for the pull corpse, we can just copy this. Is that corpse 3? I think that's corpse 3. Rune pull corpse. That's going to be a little bit off kilter there. Let's just chop that off. Chop that off. Oops. What did I do? Okay, so these will get slotted in like this. All right, so let's just try those for now. So we've got those runes. Rune pull corpse. This is going to be such a mess, but it's okay. Canvas. No, selection. Visible layers. Rune. Raise skeleton. Rune. Pull corpse. Then we're also going to want this. Rune frame. All right, let's create a UI for this. Game UI. Actually, we'll just call this game interface. Scenes, new folder, UI, game interface. Add a margin container. Set that to the full rectangle. Mouse, we're gonna do ignore. Yes. Okay. I did apply isometric ratio to players, swirling axe ability and enemies, but enemies' movement behaved a bit weird. They moved not directly to player, but with kind of exponential trajectory. Interesting, yeah. I'm not aware of how to fix isometric movement issues. Is the jam for a week too? It's 4 days, so we're not even 24 hours into it yet. I don't speak that language. Oh wait, 5,000. Everyone is working on their games and I'm still at work. Sorry to hear that. Add overhead health. Okay, yeah, we'll do that, yeah. I miss doing 2D. 3D have been lowering my lifespan. Oh, sorry, repugnant. It's kind of weird seeing the skeletons running around at the base. Yeah, I'll fix it later. Is there something for the player to do when idle? Like instead of standing around and looking at what if you collected something? Yeah, the idea is that the player will be... So first of all, there will be runes that are based on the player position, but then I think that I'm going to have the player able to move corpses themselves. What Godot theme is that? Their files are so pink. It's the Godot minimalist theme with the accent colors changed. So that's what that is. How did you make the sprites for the monsters player? By drawing them. But I can elaborate if you have a different question. How they deal damage? They just deal damage after a certain amount of time. I asked ChatGPT if it's a common problem with this weird trajectory, and it answered kind of yes, and I should drop the idea and get back to normal movement and leave it visual only. Oh, gotcha. I use Asprite, Trixie. Apparently you can record streams in times other than midnight. I don't know what that means. Hello, Aaron. Hello, Rookie Tookie. Welcome back. Bro looks like an egg yolk. Yeah, yes, it does, kind of. Hello, Hamza. How are things going? It's going good. We're prototyping a new direction for the game here. If I have a squad of 3 that instantiate from the same scene, then the player can switch between and which they want to play with. So the other 2 is AI controlled. How do I set the FSM to only work for AI? I mean, I think that would just be a matter of a simple if check, right? If not is being controlled by player, then use the finite state machine. What does the pull corpse rune do? So the idea is that the corpses can only be resurrected if they're near the base. And so the player is going to be moving the corpses to the middle of or to the inner ring of the base. But also there's a rune that you can get that will do it for you. So if you've got like a lot of resurrections happening, it can make your job a little bit easier. Good morning, Schlurgy. I don't speak that language. Oh wait, was transliterated into Ukrainian. Hello, Vector3Cat. Welcome. What's a GMTK project? This is, yeah, it's going to be kind of like a tower defense thing. There's going to be a ritual loop where you program actions that happen on a looping basis. And it's going to be like a tower defense kind of thing tower defense kind of, where the enemies are coming in from the edges of the screen and going toward your base to damage them. So you got to manage your ritual loop so that things are happening to keep the villagers at bay. That's the idea anyway. I don't know. We'll see how it works. So let's add a VBox container. And in here, we're going to add a texture rect. We're going to do quick load frame. This VBox container, we're going to make this container sizing, shrink begin. I wish I had the arena that I could see. So there's our game interface. So I need to move this down. How many pixels is this? "26 pixels. Theme overrides, constants, margin top 26, and then margin left. What do we want the margin left to be? We can do 144, I guess. I guess that's a little bit close. Let's do -32. Is that going to be big enough? VBox container, constant separation 0. And we can make this shrink begin as well. I might move this over just a little bit more. Margin left plus 16. Okay, that seems more reasonable. So this will be the loop. So now we need to have runes that you can actually slot into the thing. So this is our rune slots. Okay. I'm gonna need also, let's add an HBox container. Add another, let's just duplicate this one. Actually, let's do ritual slots. And we'll do rune inventory. The rune inventory, we're not gonna do this. We're just gonna take these runes here. And then this HBox container, let's set the separation to 16. And then we're probably going to actually need to move this over 16 again. So now you're going to have these runes that you can drag over onto the slots. I almost think this should be bigger. Let's up the size of these rune slots a little bit and see what that does. 24 by 24 is too much. $20 by 20. Oops. Kerblam. Okay, I don't need any of this, so we'll get rid of this. Now these runes probably need to make this bigger. Rune base. Let's do this. What am I doing? I'm just going to do something very quick here. Okay, so that's the rune base. That should fit very nicely in there now. And then this Rune raise skeleton. Let's just, let's do this. Rune base. Actually, probably should copy more of the skeleton now. Let's do that. Rune raise skeleton. Something like that. I can edit this art later, but I think it's working. Okay, I need more of the body. Whatever, that'll work for now. Merge down. Okay, there's our raised skeleton rune. Now the corpse rune. Let's take this. Rune pull corpse. That just fits very nicely in there, so that'll work. Oops, I did it wrong. Okay. All right, let's re-export this rune frame. And then Rune raise skeleton. Okay, so that made that much bigger. So that should be fine. Okay, yeah, that feels a little bit better. That feels a little bit better. So I need to be able to configure these now. I might need, let me think. Well, I guess I just need to implement drag and drop. Add Rune visuals. All right, let's take a look at the chat here. 100 viewers, $5 grow up so fast. I guess so. Where are you from? Which country? Good morning. I'm in the USA. Hello, lonely solo dev. Welcome, welcome. Did I miss a week, or is GMTK just 4 to 5 days long? It's just 4 days long. Yeah, it started yesterday. Hello, Aniki. Welcome back. Would you consider doing a stream after submissions close up so we could try playing each other's games and review them? Yeah, for sure. Yeah. It's crazy that hasn't even been 24 hours since the last stream. Is already the second most popular stream of yours. I know. So much progress yesterday. I left the stream and you were still working on the resurrection mechanic. Amazing progress. Thank you. Hello, Joel. It's going well. How are you doing? Why people prefer external editor for GScript? Is it more convenient? Yes, it is more convenient in a lot of ways. Shuba, welcome to the stream. Will you bring the game to Steam? Probably not. Probably not. 5:33 a.m. in beautiful Arizona right now. Time to get to work. Yes, sir. I was up at 6 a.m. this morning, but I'm in the Eastern time zone. I'm in the Eastern time zone. Hello, as a bee, welcome back. So we got to get drag and drop working, which is probably the most annoying thing ever to do, but we're going to do it. So I'm going to need a rune scene. I'm going to need a rune scene and a frame scene. So ritual slot. Okay. We're going to do those. So this, yeah, let's just get rid of this. Scene, new scene. A base of control. Rune. We'll just call it Rune, I guess. Container sizing. Custom minimum size needs to be 24. Where's my custom minimum size? Oh, here. And then in here, we're going to do a sprite 2D. We are going to not center it, and then we're going to put the rune raised skeleton in there. Cool. Why is that not working? Oh, I made it 20 by 20. I forgot. I made it 20 by 20. There we go. So this will all be configurable, but we gotta just node object empty. So just add a script in there for now. In here, rune inventory, instantiate child scene. Load as placeholder. We need a slot now. Ritual slot. $20, custom minimum size 2020. We'll go ahead and just do a sprite here as well for the rune frame. Not offset. Let's add a script here as well. Okay. Now for here, class name Rune. I'm just going to do something very basic. So ID raised skeleton. I'm just going to put everything in this rune slot here. So basically what we're going to do is we got the sprite. Func set ID. I guess I can make it an enum. Maybe I should do an enum. Type rune type. Is this right? Okay, we'll just do stuff in here later. Just getting that all stubbed out. But what we're really interested in is the input stuff. So we'll do GUI input. We're probably going to want a signal. Signal. Drag began. Signal drag ended. Input map, add new action, click left. Kerblam. We got click left in place. Const action, click left. If EVT event dot is action pressed, action click left. drag began dot emit elif event is action released. So actually, I'm not going to use the drag ended yet. This drag and drop is going to have to be coordinated by the game interface. And the game interface okay. Rune placeholder. Access as unique name. Just trying to figure out what I'm going to do here. So func ready pass func add rune to inventory. We're going to do, what are we going to do here? Rune dot, oh, can I not do a rune type here? Son of a bee, how do I use this? Oh, oops. Add rune to inventory. So basically what's going to happen is we're going to take rune. Rune is equal to rune placeholder instantiate as rune. Rune.set type rune type. And then we need to add as a child. No, I don't need to do that. So add rune to inventory, that's going to happen. So on ready, let's just do this. Add rune to inventory, rune.runetype.raise skeleton. Okay, now we need to connect to this. Rune.dragBegan.connect on rune drag began. We're going to bind the rune to that. Func initialize drag. Var is dragging bool is dragging equals true. Func process var target position is equal to vector2.0. Actually, let's do global position if not is dragging, else get global mouse position. Then we're going to take the sprite 2D dot global position is equal to target position dot linear interpolate to no sprite 2D dot global position dot linear interpolate to target position 1 minus exp negative delta times 20. Okay, and then the game interface on rune drag begin, we're going to do rune dot initialize drag. Let's see if that much works. Oops, it doesn't. Non-existent function instantiate. Oh, that's because this needs to be create instance. Okay, now we got dragging. There needs to be a slight change to this though. Get global mouse position plus vector 2 10 10. Nope, wrong one. Okay, so we've got runes being dragged, so now I can drag these over into their slots. Well, it's not done yet, but we're gonna get it. All right, sounds like a proper puzzle. I was here before Firebelly blew up. Hello, Mikolaj. What do you think about an idea for a quiz game where good answers earn you currency to advance idle hero adventure? That is an interesting idea, yeah. I think it can work. Is your main job income source game dev? Kind of. My main income source comes from my Udemy courses, which are linked in the description below, by the way. So if you want to learn how I became such a Godot wizard, you can actually learn from me using the courses below. I actually don't promise that you'll become a Godot wizard, but it is a good introduction and it is a good comprehensive series of courses on Godot. So there you go. Coding it and AI is usually hard. That's why I try to include as few possible when I come up with an idea for a jam game. Yes, I think that's right. I might be Vector 3, but I'm better at working at 2D. Proper disguise, yeah. Okay, so we've got the drag going. So now we need to have the drop working. Ritual slots. So let's do this. I'm gonna do the same thing here. So let's instantiate the ritual slot. Mark this as a placeholder. Ritual slot placeholder. Okay. Look, the cat is here. Hi. You like attention? What are you doing? What are you doing? This crazy cat. Are you okay? Are you okay? I know. I know. So in my game interface, func add ritual slot. Do I not have, oh, I don't have a class name on this. Ritual slot. Okay. Ritual slot drag began. So I think what I'll need to do in here, signal drop requested. Something like that. And then let's do this. Func GUI input event if event.is action released. I'm just gonna Rune action.click left. I'm just gonna, this code is gonna be a mess. Drop requested.emit. Oh, I should probably do accept event in these as well. So now the game interface, I can connect. This is drop requested. Drop requested.connect on drop requested. On ritual slot drop requested, ritual slot. Let's do this. I'm just gonna write this code I just wrote it. Anyway. I'm just going to do this very easily. Let's see. I'm going to add this to the Rune group. Game interface. Const group Rune. Oh, I did this in the wrong spot. Game interface. There, group Rune. Func get dragging Rune. Rune. Var runes is equal to get tree, get nodes, and group Rune. If Rune.is dragging, return Rune. Return null. Var dragging Rune. Colon equals get dragging Rune. If dragging Rune is equal to null, return. Otherwise, ritual slot dot add dot set. Do I not have a way to set this? Okay. Func set rune. I'm gonna need to change this as well. So anyway. Dragging rune. I think I'm gonna need another sprite 2D in here. This is going to be very messy. Anyway. This actually shouldn't be going through this, I don't think. What needs to happen is it needs to go through the loop manager first. So let's do this. Func add rune at slot. Slot index int. Rune type. No, I keep doing that. Rune type. Rune type. What is even going on in here? Whatever, that's fine. Var callable. Callable is equal to callable. Match rune type. Type raise skeleton is equal to execute raise skeleton. Callable. Then we need a signal in here. Signal loop slot changed. Rune type. Well, let's do this. Slot index int rune type. Rune type. Loop slot change dot emit slot index rune type. So now what I do in this interface here, export var loop manager, and what we'll do in here, loop manager dot connect dot loop slot change dot connect on loop slot changed. Okay, all of this, I'll do this later. But this ritual slot, now this, instead of setting the rune directly, what I need to do is loop manager dot set rune. What? Add rune at slot. That is not a thing. We'll set it to skeleton by default, I guess. So in here now, in this game interface, slot index, rune type, rune type. Oh, dragging rune dot rune type here. Now we can do this. So now I can do ritual slots. Ritual slots dot get child slot index dot set rune. And for now, what I'm gonna do, I know I haven't caught up in on the chat in a while, but I'm working. Let's get this in here. Okay, so there's our rune sprite. What I'm gonna do for now is I'm just gonna do this. Raise skeleton, hide it. Just to confirm it's working, rune sprite.visible is equal to true. All right. Why doesn't this work? Unused parameter, oh. We'll deal with that in a second. All right, so now I need to go to my main here. The game interface needs to have the loop manager. Let's see what happens. Oh. How do I want to do this? It just starts with 2 slots, so what I'll do here is I'll just do this real quick. For I in range 2, add a ritual slot. Cannot create instance on a null value. Are you serious? Oops. Oh, interesting. Hold on a second. Did I do something wrong? Ritual slot. If event is action released. Uh-oh. I guess I'll just have to do regular input. And rect get global rect dot has point get global mouse position. Maybe that's what I need to do. Hey, there we go. Okay, so still a lot of stuff to do, but it's working at a basic level. Let's see. I'm a Godot necromancer. Necrobelly will say the necromancer genre. Do you teach peer-to-peer on the multiplayer course? Kind of. One peer acts as the server authority. And then, yeah, all the rest of the peers interact with the server. Does the stream overlay lack the new course banner? It does, yeah. I haven't done that. Yeah, the cat is a legend. Face makes for some good memes. Making time for the cat, yes. Good morning, Emerson. Cats are the best. What is instance placeholder? It's basically, it loads the scene in the editor as if it was instantiated, but when you run the game, it's just a placeholder. So it's the instance placeholder is a node type that exists in the tree, but it doesn't, it just represents, you could think of it like a reference to a scene that you can instantiate, and then when you call create instance on the instance placeholder, what it does is it creates that scene that it's a placeholder of, and puts it right in the tree at that location. Yeah. Hello, Ariane. I actually did want to challenge myself and make a 3D game, but it's better to try with a longer jam. Yeah. Hello, Ruin Star. Welcome back. Define Dottie. Hello, hello. Welcome back, Abo. Sigatang. Participating. My code is so ugly and messy, but I guess it's okay. Yeah, it is okay. Hello, Ines. Welcome. When you read my comment, I was eating breakfast. That's okay. Okay. Hello, Cat. Do you have to do that? Do you have to do that? I just go for shinky solutions for anything that doesn't need me to get back to within the scope. Yeah. implemented drag and drop with Area 2D instead of control because it felt simpler. Are there 2 GMTK jams per year or only one? I think only one. I am grinding, yeah. 3D horror game, the player should find a key and exit from the house, and the player will go in a loop, and every time he exits, finds himself in the house again. Ooh, interesting. Proved so much since my first GMTK 3 years ago. Everything feels way easier. That's great, yeah. It does feel good to see improvement for sure. Coming back from yesterday's, checking how you're doing. Doing all right. We're pivoting the game slightly. I get to write a spawn frogs function. Nice. Hello, Nomix. Get globally wrecked. Yeah, seriously. You're gonna beat me easy. Glad to see people actually putting time into their game. Cat is cute. My cat also does that all the time. Yeah. He's being needy right now. But I'd rather have a sweet cat than a cat that's just like cantankerous, you know what I mean? Even if it means you're a little bit annoying sometimes, right, bud? Right, buddy? Even if it means you're a little bit annoying sometimes. Okay, so there's a bunch, but let's see. So this loop manager now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this callable. And I just want to see if this works. So if I start the game and then I drop this into the there, it should work. Yeah, it did work. Okay. And if I leave it alone, it shouldn't resurrect anything. Okay, now I'm going to put this here. Obviously, we'll need some kind of indicator of where you are in the loop. Perfect. So there's obviously a couple of problems here, but those problems are resolvable. So for instance, in the game interface here, on drop requested, if dragging rune is not equal to null. So then what we're going to do is we are going to queue free the dragging rune here. So dragging rune.queue free. And what we're going to do is we are also going to add an input handler in here. Rune.action click left is action released. Get dragging rune. We're going to do reset drag. What? Maybe that's not working. Maybe I need to do... I think I did this wrong. Get viewport.set input as handled. I think that's what I need to do there instead. That's fine. So now I need to reset drag. Func reset drag is dragging equals false. Let's see what happens. So if I do this. Oops, that doesn't work. This rune inventory here needs to have a minimum size of 20 in the X. And I need to be able to drag it out as well. So I got to make it so I can remove that. So we got to make it work the other way. But basic drag and drop is in place. So now we can do something like the corpse pull as well. So yeah, I'm going to need to implement a way to get the rune textures as well. So we're getting there. We're getting there. I think I do need some kind of indicator as well. Some kind of indicator to show you where you currently are in the ritual loop. So, I mean, we're getting there. We're getting there. The Z index is also a problem there. So what I'll do is I'll just make this very easy. when I start the drag on the rune, we're going to set the Z index equal to 1. Sweet. That basically works. This is going to look so good once there's animations in place. Okay. We're getting there. I'm copying your every move, same game, same code, same bugs. Let's see who will win. All right. All right, Owen. Sounds good. Is it actually okay to have 2 overlapping area 2D in a single scene? Found that area 2D cannot detect area entered signal anymore. If they're overlapping, then the area entered has already been emitted. Area entered won't get emitted again until the area leaves and re-enters. I don't have the ability to code 100% on my own yet. How do you just write code like that? Well, you have to understand that I've been doing game development in some form since I was 14 years old, and I also had a career as a software engineer for like 8 years. So the answer is just experience. And I say this quite often, but I'm 30 years old. So if you think that I'm like 22 years old and I know all this stuff, no, I'm 30. So I have quite a bit of experience doing this stuff. Could you just make a really simple game? Yeah, I feel like I can only add things to my game if there's a tutorial about what do you recommend me to do to learn to code things without a tutorial. You kind of have to do trial by fire for yourself. You just kind of have to give yourself a very simple task, and you know, like it could just be making the player move around and just try to struggle through that problem. Like you're not going to learn unless you're actually struggling. And the problem with tutorials is that they're educational, but they remove some element of that struggle. Like if you don't make an effort to actually understand what each line of code is doing and why, then it can be a little bit hard to internalize that, I guess you could say. But if you give yourself a trial by fire, if you give yourself a task that's like at the edge of your current capability, and you just sit with it and you struggle with it a little bit and try to figure out what's going on, you're going to learn probably very, very fast that way. There's already a lot of people in this stream. Yes, indeed. Welcome, Chris. Decided to actually start coding my idea for the GMTK Jam. Awesome. Everyone wants to watch the next Hideo Kojima. Okay. Missed day one. What are we doing? We're making a ritual loop necromancer game. What engine were you using when you were 14? I was using Game Maker. Yep, back in the old days of the Game Maker 7 or 8 or whatever it was with the drag and drop. It's like watching a tutorial on how to get a girlfriend and marrying her versus actually trying to struggle through it. Yeah, there's really nothing that just beats raw experience, you know? Like you can get tips and you can get pointers and you can get advice, and that's essentially what tutorials are. But you need to have a fundamental understanding of how all the systems work together. And I think the only way to do that is to fail and experiment and discover on your own to some extent. Hello, Old Rod. Welcome back. You should clip your in-depth responses and upload them as YouTube shorts. I know I should, shouldn't I? That would be a lot of work because I'd have to mark all the places in the stream where that happens. Try and find individual answers to your problem. Think forum posts. If you watch a full video, go step by step for each step of the process. You'll never learn. Yeah, and to piggyback off of that too, what you can do, which can be useful, is try to predict where the tutorial is going. Like even if you can just predict 1 or 2 lines in advance what's going to happen, try to get ahead of the tutorial a little bit. That might help as well. So like if you're writing player movement code, you might say, okay, I know how to do the input handling now, so I'm going to actually try to make the character move based on that first, and then I'm going to see what the tutorial guide does, you know? That can work too. Dropping wisdom bombs. He's a wise man, okay. Thank you. I've tried reading tutorials and attempting to follow them from memory. It's kind of a halfway point. You just have to resist rechecking the tutorial until you can't progress. Yeah. I think, yeah, a lot of it is just a reframing problem. Like, you should be expecting to struggle when you're learning, because that's how you're going to learn. If you, at the first sign of resistance, go immediately to an external resource, you're not going to be doing yourself any favors. Like, let yourself struggle through it a little bit. And yeah, if you get really stuck, like, it's not fun to be stuck for hours on a problem. So yeah, you should look up things when you can. But like, I think a lot of people, they tend to think, oh, as soon as I get stuck, like, I have to go and find an answer. But you can just kind of like work with it and like play around with the code and like put print statements to see what variables have, and yeah, all that stuff. Anyway, not to beat a dead horse, but... And this is like when I was, my first job out of college was, I was doing software engineering consulting. And basically what that meant is that every 3 to 6 months, I was on a totally different client project that had a totally different tech stack. And like, these were so idiosyncratic in a lot of ways where I couldn't just look up a tutorial like how to get all of these different frameworks to work together so I can run locally. It's like, I've got to get API keys from like someone who left the job 2 weeks ago, you know, or like, you know, there's a configuration issue on my machine. I'm using the wrong version of Node and I didn't know that because it wasn't documented anywhere. So it's like, there's no tutorial for that. I just had to like struggle through it. And like, yeah, I asked people who had knowledge, you know, of the system, but a lot of it was just me banging my head on the table for 3 hours until I finally figured out what issue was blocking me. But nowadays, like, if I'm onboarding onto a client project for whatever reason for my part-time job, it goes a lot smoother now because I kind of know how all these things work now. Anyway, you never touched Unity in 16 years? I've dabbled in it a little bit, but yeah, not done any serious work. No, I have never, yeah, I've never used Unity. Stuck for weeks on a problem. We're learning how to learn on the streams. Thanks, Sensei, yeah. All right, well, I'm gonna take a quick 3-minute break. I need a refill on my drink and all that stuff. But when I come back, yeah, we've got a lot of stuff to do on this Rune work, on this ritual loop, and I'm excited about this idea. I just need to get it in place more so we can see what's actually working. But I like the idea of having like your Rune loops for sure. Anyway, so give me 3 minutes. I'll be right back, and we'll continue on. All right, I'm back. Let me write in the chat what the idea is so I can pin that message. This game is a necromancer game with a programmable ritual loop that you use to prevent your base from being overrun with villagers. Okay, let's pin this. Cool. One thing I learned from a friend of mine was to give it a try for about 30 to 45 minutes. If you can solve it, search for the solution. If you can't solve it, yeah. Also, break problems into small steps that you can solve. Yes, that's good advice for sure. Definitely good advice. All right, so what's still missing here? What's still missing? A lot of stuff. I need to be able to drag... runes outside. How do I want to do that? I need to be able to remove things from the ritual loop here. Let's do another GUI input in here. If event.isAction press action click left, we don't need this part. This can be accept event. I'm just going to make this process as well. It's not ideal, but I can fix this later if I want. So var is dragging bool. How am I doing it here? Oh, we'll just make it the same. Drag began. Func, initialize, drag. I actually want to change this. This should be sprite2d.zindex, sprite2d.zindex. Rune sprite.zindex equals 1. I actually don't know how this is going to work, but let's just copy this. Okay, that'll work. So game interface, when we create a ritual slot, we're going to do this. Ritual slot.drag began.connect on ritual slot drag began. On ritual slot drag began, initialize drag. Okay, so now I can do this. Get dragging slot. I guess I'll call this ritual slot. Ritual slots, group ritual slot. If ritual slot is dragging, return. Why is this not working? It's shadowing an already... Oh. We're going to rename this to ritual slots container. Get dragging ritual slot. Okay. So we'll return out of that var ritual slot. Get dragging ritual slot. This can be simplified. If ritual slot actually what I'm going to want to do is I want this to go through the loop manager. Func remove rune at slot index int loop slots slot index equals callable. I'm going to need to store an inventory as well, so I'm going to need to get that in place. Loop slot changed. Rune. Oh, can I make this null? Does that work? If rune type is equal to null, ritual slot is equal to that as ritual slot. If rune type is equal to null, we're going to do ritual slot.clear, which I'm going to have to add in now. There's so much going on. It's just a basic drag and drop system. Rune sprite.texture equals null. Else. Oh yeah, that was right. Ritual slot. Okay, so here what I want to do is loop manager dot remove rune at slot ritual slot get index. What that needs to do is that needs to take this is going to be a mess, but maybe I should do this. I need a func add rune to inventory. Let's do this. Rune inventory.append rune type. Signal inventory changed. Actually, let's do this. Rune added to inventory. Rune added to inventory.emit rune type. So now this needs to change to loop manager dot rune added to inventory dot connect on rune added to inventory. On rune added to inventory, add rune to inventory. Okay. What in the heck is even going on here? So remove rune at slot. So now I need a way of relating callables to rune types. I might as well just make a dictionary in here. Callable to Rune type. Dictionary. Callable Rune.Rune type. Can I make this a constant? Execute. This is not the best architecture in the world, but it'll work. Guess I can't make it a constant. That's all right. Okay. Why did I need that? Here. If let's do this. Var removed callable loop slots slot index. If not removed callable dot is null. Oh, that's the other thing I need to do here. If, well, to do prevent drag on empty slots. We'll do that later. Loop manager. If removed callable is null, if not removed callable is null, then what we're going to do is we're going to say add Rune to inventory, callable to Rune type, removed callable. I have no idea if that's going to work. Let's see what happens. Oops. Add Rune to inventory dot call deferred Rune dot Rune type dot raise skeleton. Okay, we've got the skeleton here. Boom. Okay, that didn't work. Let's just print the ritual slot there. Null. Okay, the ritual slot is null. Get dragging ritual slot. Why didn't that work? Is dragging. Oh, I didn't add it. I probably didn't add this to the group, did I? Let's see. Node. Yep, I didn't add this to the group. Ritual slot. Always something that slips through the cracks. All right, let's try that now. So now if I do boom, boom. Okay, we got some errors. Error calling from cannot convert argument 2 from nil to int. Oh, I see. Okay, I'm gonna have to add a Rune type that's like none. Because here, this should be Rune.RuneType.none. Okay, and then what do I need to do? Ritual slot.reset drag. So now the ritual slot in here. I think this is where I need to start matching the textures up with the rune type. I'm just going to do this very easily. Static var rune type to texture, dictionary rune type texture. Does that work? Oh, the file doesn't exist. Raise skeleton, copy UID. Rune type dot none. Reload, or no, this can just be null. Static func get rune type texture. I don't care about the safety checks. Okay. So now in ritual slot here, set rune. Rune sprite, we're just gonna make the rune sprite always visible here. And then this is going to become runesprite.texture is equal to rune.get rune type texture. Rune type. Is that going to work? Oops. Hey, look at that. Now the one thing I can't do is I can't drag and place from the ritual loop thing to another slot on the ritual loop thing, so I'm going to need to do that. But what I should see is that skeletons will stop spawning. Now if I put it there, it should spawn. Sweet. Okay. My problem solving usually looks like this. Step 1, try to fix it on your own until you start to hear the call of the abyss. Yeah, and then consult AI. So a reason we're in GDScript today, for a web build. So in order to maximize the amount of people that play the game, on itch.io, I want to do a web build, which is not supported by C#, so not yet anyway. Hello, Julio. Still trying to figure out my game for the jam. Nice to see your progress, though. Inspiring. Thank you. Yeah, good luck with coming up with an idea. Yeah, that's right. Have you ever tried Godot Mobile? I have not. Super flow state. Yes, indeed. OC Richie, welcome. Hello, Aragoth. Welcome back. Cat Hugger. Hello. Working on this jam project, I found a limitation in sprite animations that I would like updated. What's the limitation? I don't care about the safety check. Sounds like a statement that will return to haunt. Well, actually, it's I actually want it to throw errors. I don't want it to silently fail because that code in particular, I need to have a texture associated with every rune type. And so this get rune type texture is going to error if that texture doesn't exist in the dictionary, which is going to basically it's going to error out and pause the game. And that's going to be a very clear indicator to me that, oops, I forgot to add to the rune type texture, right? If I put a silent fail in here, it would be less obvious that I need to fix it, although it would still be visible. It would still be an obvious problem, but anyway, so what am I doing? I don't want to keep just working on drag and drop. So I want to add now. So let me think. Am I doing anything in the game interface? So we're going to need a ritual slot added signal here. So let's do this. Signal ritual slot added. I want to make everything driven by the loop manager. And then the game interface needs to be purely responsive. So this needs to go away. Loop manager.ritual slot added.connect on ritual slot added. Func on ritual slot added. Oh my gosh, these contractors. Anyway, whatever. Don't need to worry about them right now. On ritual slot added, add ritual slot. So now what I'll do here is in the loop manager, what I'll do is I'll say func call deferred for I in range loop slots.size. Ritual slot added dot emit. Okay, let's see what that does. Okay, it still works. That's good. So now everything should be driven by the loop manager with the game interface simply responding to all the changes in the loop manager, which is good. So now I need to actually work on some more gameplay. Move all data driving to loop manager. All right, let's take a look at what we got going on. So I'll add this in. That's going to resurrect some skeletrons. But I need to have... I need some, what? Progression, I guess. So I need more loop slots to be added. I need runes to drop. And the question is, how am I gonna... Maybe I'll just have the runes drop on... Hold on, I gotta respond to this guy. So maybe I'll just have the runes drop on the map and you have to go and pick them up. And then once you pick them up, they can be added to your rune inventory. I'm also going to probably want a pause button so I can read my loop and plan for it. Okay. Oh, there's still lots of work to do here. Still lots of work to do. Looks cool, thank you. Hello, Rift Lurker. Welcome, welcome. You can't create a set of sprite frames with one sheet and then replace the sheet with another one. Oh. Bro really hates villagers, yeah. Stuff should feel as noisily as possible. Good shout. During dev anyway, yeah, I think so. Hello, A the Ant. Because the way that the sprite frame works is that it stores each from as effectively a separate image. Oh, I see. I reckon I'll try to chuck something together in Pico 8 for this. Today and tomorrow I'm stuck in work and Saturday is booked up, so I don't really have like a day. Oh, wow. Well, you can do it. How does it feel to do something other than your commercial project? It's kind of fun, but I mean, I do want to work some more on my commercial project. My cat is bugging me. Hold on. Okay. What's the ominous purple square? That will be your base. So I haven't done any art for that yet, but that's going to be your base. So there's a couple of features that I want here. Let me think. So let's modify the base. Oh, do I not have... Oh, it's in the loop. Oh, I see. It's in the loop manager. The resurrection radius is going to be 64. If corpse.globalPosition.distance squared to base.globalPosition is greater than pow resurrection radius 2, continue. So now there's a resurrection radius, which probably actually should be 32 maybe. Okay. Let's do this now. I'm going to add the pull corpse into this. Rune type. Do I not have a pull corpse? Let's do this. Pull corpse. Preload. Cool. All right, so let's put that in the loop manager now. All deferred, pull corpse, callable to rune type. This in here now, what I can do, add rune at slot. Find key rune type or no, it's just the rune type coming in. Now we can get rid of this match here. Perfect. Okay, let's see. Oh, I need to add that now. So execute raise skeleton. Let's do func execute pull corpse. Again, we're going to target these corpses. Why is this not working? Did I get rid of the... Oops. Did I accidentally delete something? Oops. Copilot going crazy. It'll pull the farthest corpse. Distance squared to... Okay. If target corpse is not equal to null, what we're going to do is we're going to say target corpse.global position is equal to base.global position plus math utils get random direction times randef range resurrection radius. Okay, there we go. That should work. So let's see if that works. Oops. Did I use the wrong thing? Rune pull corpse, copy UID. No, I didn't use the wrong ID. Where is pull corpse being used? Add rune to inventory. Emit rune type. Rune added to inventory. It's passing an add rune to inventory. Set type. Ah, that's why. Rune in here. Sprite2d.texture is equal to get rune type texture type. We're just gonna undo that. Okay. Boom, there's our corpse now. Oh, and it changed. That's all right. It didn't work. So now I gotta go through the whole thing. Add rune at slot, slot index rune type. Where is this being done? Dragging rune.rune type. Oh, am I not setting the rune type? Oh, probably not. Yeah. Let's do rune type.none here. Okay. That should do it. So now if I put the corpse there, one of these should randomly change position. Or not. Oh, I have a debugger error. Attempt to set variable of type nil to an array of type callable. Oh, forgot to add it here. See, that's why I want those errors. Execute pull corpse, pull corpse. Okay. So I've got to edit like 5 different places to add a new rune, but it's a jam game, it's fine. So now if I put this here, we should see one of the corpses change positions. Maybe? Oh, there it goes. So obviously that will be animated, but so the pull corpse, what will happen is there's like an inner radius that's required for the corpses to be in for them to be resurrected. And so if a corpse dies outside, the base can pull the corpse back in for you. But then I'm also going to make it so that you can grab your own corpses and bring them into the radius. So like if there's a corpse out here, it should be pulled into the radius for you so that it can be set up for resurrection later. Okay, so this is starting to come together. Obviously, I'm going to want villagers to drop corpses on occasion as well. I might make it a random chance, but I have a feeling the random chance is not going to work well. I can make it a weighted random chance where the longer you go without getting a corpse, the more common it becomes. And what I should be able to do is I should be able to move that out, and now that's not going to pull any corpses anymore. I really need an indicator for this to know which one's currently active. But we're getting there. We're getting there. But now that I've got the runes in place, I should probably do where I can swap them. Oops, I just deleted one on accident. Should probably do it where I can swap them too. Let's just do that really quick just to finish out the drag and drop functionality. Good morning, Adam. I left that comment on the screen way too long. What game are you making, JK? Good morning, Breckheck. Fire Kitty. They should make a Pokemon modeled after the Firebelly Salamander. Yeah, for serious. Missed the opportunity not to have the Salamander logo for your channel. I could change it. I'm not late. No, you're not late. Do you pay for Copilot? I do pay for Copilot, yeah. I pay for Copilot. I pay for ChatGPT T+. What else do I pay for? GitHub. I think those are my dev-related recurring monthly expenses. Okay, Cat, I'm gonna bury you again. Okay, be quiet now. Okay. Are there betting pools which content creators will win a game jam? If not, new business idea. Don't bet on me. We call those tax write-offs, yeah. Chat Jeepers T+, yeah. So yeah, let's get this drag and drop working here. Oh, there is a drop requested. So this drop requested here. Drop requested. Oh. Let's do dragging ritual slot. If dragging rune is equal to null and dragging ritual slot is equal to null, then we will just return. Otherwise, what we'll do is we'll say if dragging rune else loop manager. Do I need to have a swap now? Var old index colon equals dragging ritual slot to get it. Var new index is equal to ritual slot get index. Now I need to do this. I need to add a swap in here. Func swap rune slots. Old index int. New index int. Slots new index loop slots new index equals temp callable old rune type callable new type. Why is this not called old callable? I think this is what needs to happen. I don't know. Did I do it right? So I need to call that swap here. Loop manager dot swap rune slots old index new index. Is that going to work? Boom, boom. It did not work. Oh, it didn't reset the drag. That's why. Dragging ritual slot dot reset drag. Oh no, it turned both of them into skeletrons. Wait a minute. Oh, it goes back. Huh? What in the heck, man? I think that's what I need to do. I always get mixed up with I always get mixed up with array swapping for some reason. But now I can swap the order of these things very easily, and if I drag outside, it becomes, you know, what you call it? Ah! Oh, because I'm swapping with null, I have to handle that situation now. Right. So it's going to crash if I do this. If I do this, and then boom, it doesn't like that. Okay. Callable to rune type. I see. New rune type. This is going to be easier if I do this. Callable to rune type, find key. Func get callable for rune type. Is that right? No. Get rune type for callable. If callable dot is null, return rune type dot none, return callable to rune type. Oh wait. Ah, I can just do that. Sweet. Why doesn't that work? Oh, rune type. Okay. So now in here, that should fix that, I think. Okay, now what's left to do is just see if it works. So it's going to resurrect a skeleton, and I can swap these and it should resurrect another skeleton immediately after. Yep. So I can swap these around during the gameplay if I want to. But I think we've finally got the drag and drop done, so that's good. That's going to pull... Oh no, it resurrected, okay. Why did that resurrect? That seems like it was too far away. Why is that resurrecting? That seems too far away. Oh, I need to move this up here. That should work. So it should pull a corpse in. There's the corpse, and then it should resurrect that corpse. Sweet. All right, now we can start working on some progression, I guess. I hope we get to see a man with a sexy British accent comment over your game. Oh, yeah. If I'm able to submit to Jam, can you play my game too? Yeah, if I do play game jams, I'll have like a form submission thing. I'm grinding, yeah. Well, got a tight timeline here. Got a tight timeline. Also, I think it's McDonald's day today. That sounds good to me. Game development is powered by McDonald's. Brought to you by Carl's Jr. So, I'm trying to figure out what to do next. There's just so much to do. I need an indicator, but I don't know if I should do that just yet. There should be some kind of progression system, so let's do this. On villager died. Const corpse scene. Actually, I wonder if I could just spawn corpses all the time, because I do want to make them decay as well still. So maybe I'll add, let me try that. So maybe I'll just make everything create a corpse, but then they can decay. Wait time, let's do 5.1 seconds. Actually, we'll do 5, it's fine. Timer.timeout.connect. On timer timeout. On timer timeout. Queue free. Now, whenever an enemy dies, do I have a corpse scene already? Corpse spawner component. Oh. I don't even need to do this in here. I can go ahead and add that back. I removed that from the villager, but let's go ahead and add corpse spawner component. I'm thinking the corpses will be a kind of currency that you can use to like activate certain abilities. Expected indent block? What the heck are you talking about? What are you talking about? Enemy manager. Oh. So now the corpses will decay after 5 seconds. Oops, they went away. Invalid access to property or key died. Ah. Maybe I'll give the corpses a longer time. Let's do 10 seconds. All right. So I'll put this here, put that there. That should resurrect one skeleton. The other corpse is probably going to disappear. Yep. So now the skeleton needs to go and kill the villager. That should create another corpse. I can bring this over myself. I'll bring this one over too. I can make it so that corpses don't despawn while you're carrying them. Or I can just increase the corpse despawn timer to 20 seconds. This whole loop will take 10 seconds to complete, so... Yeah, I think it's just a matter of figuring out the balance here. Maybe it could be the case that corpses that are inside of the inner radius won't decay. But we'll figure it out. Oh, I had a third skeleton briefly there. The skeletons are wild. All right, I got 4 skeletons now. Let's go. So obviously the villagers need to increase in frequency over time. Oh, to grow up to be a game dev and eat McDonald's too? It's a good goal. Good life goal. Gotta grind all the time, yeah. Anyone new here? There isn't a day where he doesn't have McDonald's gamer food. Game dev is calorically intensive work. I'm gonna go grind some more. See y'all later. All right, good luck, Vector3Cat. Do you have a Discord server? I can't seem to find it. I don't, no. Not yet. Is it game over if you run out of skeletons? It's game over if your base dies. So the base currently can't die yet. So the villagers need to increase in intensity over time. So I think the easy thing I'm going to do here is I'll just... Base time 6. Spawn timer dot start. Spawn timer dot start. Base time minus number spawn times timer delta. So with each villager spawn, it's going to reduce by 1/10 of a second. I gotta put my things in. Give me a skeleton. Where's my skeleton? Probably want a different curve for this, but this is something that I'm going to have to play with and balance a lot. But the elements of progression I need new ways for the player to get new runes. The runes need to be interesting, and I also need what do I need? So villagers to come in at an increasingly difficult level, new villager enemies to come in that have different abilities. So basically I need the ritual slots to increase and the number of runes to increase as well. So how would that progression work? Maybe after a certain number of villagers killed, you get another ritual slot. Signal enemy died. And I want to do this too. To do, don't trigger died when base is hit. So on villager died. Enemy died dot emit. Then in my main here, let's get a reference to the enemy manager. Class name enemy manager. On enemy died. Var enemies killed. Int enemies killed plus equals 1. Var progress. Var, like I say, var required kills. Int equals 5. Var kill progress. Required kills loop manager dot add. Do I have a way to add a ritual slot? I don't. add ritual slot. And I guess I don't even need this. Add ritual slot. Loop slots dot append callable. Ritual slot added dot emit. Okay. So now in my main here, add ritual slot. Required kills plus equals 5. Let's just see what that does. Index out of bounds. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Why is that out of bounds? Add function start loop. Whatever, we'll just do this. Doesn't matter. Is this being called, this execute is being called immediately? That's not ideal. Actually, I'll just do this. It's kind of sloppy, but I'll just do call deferred there too. Dot call deferred. Boom. Okay, so now we've got our loop slots. Put those in. Do some kind of indicator on the loop slots as well. Yeah, with some animations and stuff, this would look pretty good. So let's see if I can get another rune slot here. There we go, we got another rune slot. Okay, now I need a way of getting runes. I think this is going to work. I think I can see the fun in this game for sure. Basically, you're going to be running around and looking at your rune ritual loop. And trying to manage based on that. I'm just going to have to do a lot of work on the balancing, but once this got some animations inside of it, oops. Once this has some animations inside of it with the skeletons smacking and blood flying everywhere and meteors calling down from the sky and corpses flying everywhere. And then I'm going to have different minion types too that require a certain number of corpses to be present in the corpse area. So you might have a more powerful minion type that requires 2 corpses. So you're going to want to make sure 2 corpses are in the area before that executes. But let me I want to do some work on the visuals now a little bit because I really am hurting. I'm having a hard time visualizing what's going on. So I want to fix that. Anyway, minor progression work. But how are we feeling about this game? Like, are you guys seeing the potential? Are you seeing the fun? Can you see how this would be interesting? I think it's more interesting than my initial idea. I drop hair to become game dev. What the runes do? So the way that this game works, I'll explain it and then I'll let you guys, whoever's watching, you can give your opinions. The way this works is that there's a ritual loop. This is the ritual loop here. It executes from top down, and every 5 seconds, the next one executes. The runes are the behavior or the functionality that executes at that rune slot as it's going down. So this rune here is a pull corpse rune. It makes the corpse go near to the base. The raise skeleton rune creates a skeleton out of a corpse that's near the base. And this just loops indefinitely. So it does raise skeleton, pull corpse, raise skeleton, pull corpse. But as you build this out, this is going to grow down this way. It can get longer and longer, and there's going to be more rune types. Like I'm thinking there's a rune type that's going to be, you know, call down a meteor on the player position that will damage enemies. So like your player positioning can help as well. There could be runes that heal all nearby minions to full. So again, that's going to depend on where you're positioned as well. There can be rune types that raise different types of enemies. There could be rune types that do corpse explosions, right? So basically what you're doing is you're trying to like optimize the order in which things happen such that you're keeping the villagers at bay from getting to your base. And these are going to get stronger over time as well, and the screen's going to get filled with them. And your power is going to be based on how well you orchestrate this ritual loop here. So that's the vision of the game. Any thoughts on any of that? Can the runes be upgraded? I don't think so. I think I'll just have runes that are just stronger. I don't want to make the game too complicated. You're at work, you can't code or make. Make a rune cultist which worship the necromancer and maybe buff them and the skeletons. Yeah, I was thinking about like, I mean, there could be like suicide bomber skeletons too. Like there could be all kinds of like wacky stuff. And you know, you got to imagine the screen is going to be filled with like really nice chunky particle effects and blood and chunks flying everywhere. You know, it looks very rudimentary right now, but it started. Is it too late to join? No, it's not too late. No, you can join for sure. A good sound effect of blood splashing can elevate the game feel for sure, yeah. Base defense game now? Yes, yes. Probably won't be a priority, but should probably have a tooltip when you hover over a rune to describe its function. Yeah, yeah, for sure. That will for sure be a thing. But yeah, any thoughts beyond, you know, the quality of life stuff and everything? Any thoughts on the game design itself? From anyone? I'm just gonna add some. Just make these have a little bit more depth here. Did I just do this in the wrong layer? Okay, that apparently didn't work. Oh. Delete that. I also need SE. What is that? I just fixed the isometric AI movement. Take normalized direction, calculate the length of its vector with its ratio, ISO ratio, and then multiply direction on a scale factor. Oh, very nice. Very nice. My thoughts, jealous how quickly you added drag and drop when I've been trying to do it for my card game and I'm struggling. Looks cool. Might not be seeing the vision, but I look forward to more progress. I think the gameplay is solid now. Sounds awesome. Could be cool to have a rune that makes the loop happen more often, which could both help and harm the player if not set up right. Yeah, that's interesting. A rune that makes the next X executions or whatever quicker. I'm gonna start writing these ideas down. So we want a rune that raises more powerful minions. a rune that accelerates the next X runes. We want a fireball rune. We want a heal rune. Corpse explosion rune. I don't know. What else? Just how do you get your first corpse stack? There will be corpse stacks at the beginning, just ready for you to use. Probably will start with some runes as well, like these 2 runes. I just got to get the balancing down, I think. That's the big thing. Time for game dev once again. Yes, indeed. Get the obsidian kanban out. I don't want to set up a board for this. Someone somehow showing stats about the ritual's performance compared to against an optimal build of some size. Okay. I'm going to need to make a tutorial for this game too. But I want to keep the game like super simple. Like you're managing these and then you're managing your player position, and that's basically it. Maybe I'll make the skeletons have a little bit more health. The villagers can maybe have, let's just try it, 3 health. And the skeletons can have, oh, they already have 10 health. Oh, I was like, what is not, why is nothing happening? Oof. Yeah, I think mostly the game is going to be a matter of playing with the balance now and adding more rune types. Heal rune ban. I'm back. TBH, I forgot I was watching this the whole time while grinding out my game. Yeah, no worries. Okay, I'm going to work on some visual stuff now. I definitely want like an indicator here. I think what I'm going to do, let me just do this. I don't know, stuff. Okay, let me take a quick 3-minute break, and when I come back, we will work on some visuals. What I want to do is I want to borrow what I'm doing for my commercial game, which is I'll do a highlighted animated border around this border, going from left to right, and that will indicate the progress through the execution, and when it hits the end, it will execute that ability, and then it will move on to the next one. So it'll be a very nice, like, clear visual of what's going on. Probably we'll use this color. Actually, let's just go ahead and do this. Ritual frame progress. Ritual frame progress. I don't know why I'm doing all this. What? I don't want contiguous. Thank you. Okay, so that will be the color. Ritual frame progress. We'll make it super simple. Duplicate this, progress, sprite. Ah, son of a bee. And we'll add a shader to this. Ritual slot progress.gd shader. Create. uniform float progress. I got to do semicolons. Okay, anyway, I'm going to take a quick 3-minute break, and when I come back, we will implement this. So, I'm going to sleep now. It's nighttime for me. Bye. Thanks for joining, Trixie. Appreciate it, and good luck with your game. Making a 2D game is fun. It is. It really is. All right. Yeah, I'll be right back in 3 minutes. I am back. Hello, Damien. Good morning, Lukey. All right, let's get this progress thing in place. Color is equal to texture. Texture UV. Color dot A is equal to step. No, mix. What? I always forget these freaking functions. I always forget these functions. What in the heck? Oh, here we go. Step. If B is less than A0. Okay, yeah, so I want to do mix. mix color dot A 0 float value step if B. Oh no, man. uv.x progress. That doesn't work. I gotta reverse this. Okay, progress, hint range. Okay, there we go. Very simple progress shader there. So now I need to relate this to the progress. Let me do something real quick. Rune type not equal to rune type dot none. Okay. That should fix that. So process. I think really the only way I can think to do this is if I go to the loop manager and I do signal charge progress int, or let's do slot index int progress float. We'll make this a process method. Public, or no, public. What am I doing? Func process. We've got the loop timer here. So we're going to do var percent is equal to loop timer timer.time left divided by loop timer dot wait time. And we've got the loop index. So we're going to do charge progress dot emit loop index percent. Okay. And then in the game interface here, we'll connect to that. Loop manager dot charge progress dot connect on charge progress. Func on charge progress. Progress float. Oh wait, no, this needs to be slot index int progress float. Ritual slots container get child slot index set progress. The problem is this is not going to clear the progress when it changes. So what I'm going to have to do is probably add another. I'll probably need to do, loop timer dot start on loop timer timeout. So let's do this. Signal charge started, slot index int. Charge started dot emit loop index. Okay, that's probably what I'm going to need to do. Loop manager dot charge started dot connect on charge started. For ritual slot in ritual slots container get children, ritual slot dot clear progress. Func on charge started. Is it passing in the loop index? I already forgot. Oh, it is passing. Okay. I'm not actually going to use this, so that's fine. We're going to do clear progress on the ritual slot, so we need to do that. So we need func set progress. Actually, I could probably just use a set progress. That's fine. Shader material. Let's use a string name there. Rune sprite material as shader material, shader material. We don't want this. Cool. So now in here, set progress 0, and then set progress progress. Okay. I have no idea if that's going to work. Let's find out. Cannot call method set shader parameter on a null value. Oh, that's because it's not. This is Rune sprite. Oh, I need progress sprite. Progress sprite dot material. Non-existent function set progress and base instance placeholder. Are you serious to me? If ritual slot is ritual slot. Maybe one of these days we'll get it. That is not correct. Oh, so I reversed it on accident, but also this needs to be local to scene. Okay, so that's local to scene now, and then I just need to reverse this 1 -%. I think that will work. No, that won't work. Boom. Oh yeah, there we go. So now I can put this in here. Ah! Non-existent function set progress and base nil. On change progress. Oh, it's that instance placeholder is probably being a... Oh, yeah, that's probably not good. Okay, so let me change this. I'm not going to use this ritual slot placeholder anymore. This custom minimum size, let's do 20 byte, or let's just do 20 EX. Const ritual slot scene, packed scene. Preload that. Ritual slot copy UID. Okay. Now we're going to get rid of this placeholder. Ritual slot scene. Instantiate. Ritual slot container.add child ritual slot. Okay. I think the get index was getting messed up there. So we put that there, put that there. That should resurrect a skeleton now. Bam! What the heck, man? Why is that happening? On charge progress. Non-existent function set progress and base and nil. On charge progress. Oh, this needs to go here. I think because I reversed the logic a little bit. So that's fine. Okay. I think this will work. So put this here, put that there. Resurrect the skeleton. It should pull this corpse in if I move it all the way over here. Boom. Now it's back to resurrecting a skeleton. Sweet. I think I just need to make the skeletons more beefy. Let's try that. Oh, that didn't work. It didn't resurrect a skeleton. Is it going to resurrect one now? I need to make the villagers die. Hold on. There might be something wrong here. Let's see. Maybe the resurrection area is not big enough. It might not be big enough, actually. That was probably the problem I was running into. Okay. All right. Our favorite celeb game dev has arrived, yes. How long is GMTK? 4 days. We're almost 24 hours through, so first day through. Maybe have the res skelly in the first slot by default, that way you don't forget to add it. Looks like it doesn't execute the first ritual loop slot when you start because the slot is empty on play. Loving the content, super interesting matching live development. Yeah, I think I'm not going to worry too much about what the initial state is because I have to do a whole tutorial anyway. So, but yeah, it's a good suggestion for sure. So now I have a new ritual slot, which is interesting because it's actually going to slow down the rate at which my skeletons resurrect. Are my skeletons too powerful now? Although the corpses are decaying still. Okay. I know why that issue is happening, but add progress indicator to ritual loop. So now the next major thing to figure out is how to get runes to drop. I think the runes should probably drop in the level so that you have to go and pick them up. So yeah, we're gonna need that. Yeah, we're gonna need that. Looks awesome. Thank you, Abo. Could texture progress bar be an alternative here instead? I'm sure it could, but it was easier to set up a shader. Yeah. We got it, Milestone. Welcome to the stream, by the way. I could have used a texture progress bar, but yeah, the shader is just easier for me in this situation. Executing raised skeleton logic, cool. So we need more, I think maybe before I add runes dropping, I just need more runes. So what do I write down? Rune that attracts next X, that accelerates the next X slots, fireball, rune heal, corpse explosion. Maybe we can make a more powerful, like an archer skeleton or something. Maybe we'll do an archer skeleton. I definitely want to do an archer skeleton. Because like part of the fun of the game is going to be having a variety of minions available. So let's do this. Skeleton. So wait, I have today and tomorrow and Saturday. Hold on a second. Okay, sorry. Looks great, thank you. I think it could look nice for the shader to do top to bottom and flow into the next one. Oh, yeah, we could do it top to bottom. Why don't we try that? So keep the progress lit up. Is that what you're thinking? So we'll do that, and then instead of clearing the progress, if slot index equals 0. Let's see what that does. Oh yeah, look at that. That looks much better and it should reset. Ooh, nice. We'll probably want some kind of separate activation. Actually, now that I think about it, it might even be better if in this ritual slots container I set a separation of 1 so that there's a little gap between them so you can clearly see a delineation. Yeah, that looks better. Thank you for the suggestion. I'd also want to show something to show decay timer. Yeah, the decay of the corpses will be done probably with like a noise shader or something. I don't know. We'll see. Did you write your A-Sprite export script? I was looking for it, but I can't find it. Yeah, I forgot what it's called. I didn't write it. I did make some of my own modifications to it, but I didn't write it, no. So now we've got an extra loop. So yeah, the villagers need to get more difficult over time for sure, but we're good for now. Yeah, I think that's looking good. And then we got another slot. So the weird thing about the slots is that it's actually going to make you less powerful immediately because you're not going to be resurrecting skeletons as often unless you have another skeleton resurrection, you know, thing. So I got to figure out the balancing for sure. But yeah, let's draw. That looks good. Thanks for the suggestion. Let's draw maybe a skeleton archer. What am I doing? What am I doing? Tweak progress indicator. Maybe you have an altar at the base where you put X corpses on the altar and get a random rune. Oh, yeah, using the corpses to get runes. That's a good idea. Okay, I could do that. I need to copy that shader progress bar code. Oh yeah, that's it. Thank you, Viking Gears. Appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Okay, let's draw a Skeletron. It's going to be a nice break from coding. I've been coding freaking all morning. Grid settings. Yeah, if you could use if you use the corpses as currency to gain runes. That's a really interesting idea. So yeah, you got to kind of like manage having corpses in your resurrection area, but also like, yeah, also like spending them to get a random rune. Yeah, I'm gonna have to think about that. I think that's the question is, do I want the rune to be random? Maybe random would be best. Yeah, maybe random would be best. Anyway. Lots of stuff to figure out still. Yeah, I basically got to finish this by Saturday because I'm busy on Sunday. So I have all of today, all of tomorrow, and basically all of Saturday. It should be enough time. Should be enough time, but you know. So the skeleton archer, I'm basically just going to copy what I've got here. Let's put the archer up here, I guess. Oops, I just removed his head, sorry. Where do I want to put this? Let's just go over here. Okay, skeleton archer. Gotta make him like super cute. Oops. I don't know, I gotta start thinking about animations and stuff too. New group. Okay. Make him like a long bowman, I guess. Just use a really long bow. So yeah, I'm thinking that this is probably going to have to be like its own thing. And then we'll put I don't know, something like that, I guess. I don't know. Arm left. Oops. Well, that's not ideal. What in the heck, man? I'm getting lost in my layers. Okay, we're gonna lock the skeleton archer. Arm left. Okay. I'm just gonna cheat. Copy this skeleton's legs here. That's so annoying. Okay. He's got big boots. That'll work. Okay. I think that'll be all right. And then maybe we'll give him a little hat. I don't know. Let's see. Hat. It's kind of funny. Kind of obscures his eyes, but I think that's fine. There we go. There's our skeleton archer. Now we got a new character to add into the mix. You then balance your automation with having to use your character. Yeah, I like it. I look like Fabiano Curian. I don't know who that is. I'm sorry. Hello, Levi. How much time is left for the jam? We are 23 hours into the jam right now, and it's 96 hours. So almost through day 1, and it's 4 days long. Will you be able to attack soldiers yourself? If not, maybe consider removing the knife in hand. Yeah, you're not going to be able to, so I probably will do that. Thought it was a candle. Could be a candle. There, now it's a candle. I probably will remove it. Give him some kind of weird shuffle animation where he's just like flailing around a little bit. Oh my, this is going to be a nightmare. Animating all these pieces is going to be a nightmare. Well, I don't need to animate all of them. I think just basically... maybe just the arms, really. There we go. Very cute, very cute. Yeah, so that could be the next rune. So I'm probably going to work on, the next thing I'm going to work on is probably going to be some enemy, or some minion AI, some balancing, see if I can get the rune types going. Yeah, I need to figure out how runes can be acquired. I think I like the suggestion of using corpses to purchase runes. But I'm gonna have to think about that some more. I almost think that maybe it should be, maybe you can convert the corpses into currency or something, or yeah, maybe, I mean, taking them to an altar, I guess, is a good idea. Yeah, so that's the major things to figure out now is, well, I get the skeleton archer implemented, and then get a rune for the skeleton archer, and then figure out how to actually acquire new runes. American Italian chess player. Oh, I see. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Okay, what next? Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and get lunch now. It's time for my double quarter pounder with cheese. But I may stream later today, so hit the notification bell to be notified if I go live again today. Otherwise, I'll definitely be streaming again tomorrow. So I hope that you all will join me then. And thank you everyone for watching. Thank you all for being here. Very much appreciate that. And you can also check out my links in the description below. Those are all the ways you can support my work if you're interested. If you want to learn how to build games in the Godot engine, then I've got these courses. This is the newest one, Create a Complete Online Co-op Multiplayer Game in Godot 4. This teaches you everything you need to know about creating an online multiplayer game with you, where you can connect to real people over the internet. So, but I also have other courses as well that are not multiplayer focused. But yeah, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff helps me out a lot as well. Thank you everyone for being here again. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good day. Bye-bye.